And then my question now is, what are your views on women working in the male-dominated jobs? Like the Kamala Harris running for president is a big one, you know?
Yeah, that's wild.
Or the Secret Service, there were a bunch of women protecting the president.
That's
and
wild.
I was like, why are we pushing this like narrative? So what is your thoughts on all this?
It is the expression of a sick society, a truly sick society. And it's also, women buy into this. It's strange and comical. Maybe about a year ago, actually a year and a half ago now, I was running a podcast. And because women are quite irresponsible, especially in the West, when we book women for the podcast, we have to book, say, like 30 women to get 12. Or you have to book 12 women to get 4 because they're flaky and irresponsible.
Okay.
That's really who they are. Conversely, if it was males and we booked 10, we're probably going to get 8. Well, why? Because life is not on easy mode for males. They don't get freebies. As a man, you can't walk down the street if you're broke and hungry. You know, you meet a woman like, hey, like, do you want to take me out to dinner? I'm hungry. That's not going to happen. But a woman can easily, if she's broke and hungry, go on Tinder and get a free meal, 3 meals a day, right?
Oh, yes.
So women are used to not having to keep their word, not having to be responsible. And so anyways, I say this to say we're running a podcast, and I think we had wanted 7 girls. And so we got 22 to confirm, and like 15 showed up. So it was just unusual that such a high number actually showed up. So we're like, all right, let's run it. Let's run it. We got mics, pull out the extra mics, you know, grab that couch, put that over there. So like, we're going to run it. So we had a ton of girls. And then what happened during the podcast is that the girls got jealous of each other. And a fight broke out, a literal fight, not an argument, but an actual fight. And I'll tell you why. We do something called the drip cam, right? And so girls stand up, show her outfit. And a lot of the girls are actual models, right? Not like an IG model, but real models, right? So we do a drip cam. They stand up, show their outfit. And remember, I produce clothing, right? So I'm also putting the girls in my clothing so we can showcase it. So we do a drip cam.
Good marketing.
And we'll rate the girls' outfits. We'll rate their drip. And the girls will rate each other. Well, started going left because there's too many girls. When there's a lot of girls and just a couple guys, things get very competitive among the females. And so they rate each other, and then so-and-so says this, so-and-so says that. Now they're arguing. Next thing you know, they're throwing alcohol and chips and sauce at each other and then trying to fight each other. Now, before this started, we were having a conversation, and we had talked about males and females' physical strength and job roles. And I said, you should never have a female as a police officer. You should never have a female as a security guard, a bodyguard, any protective function. Not only because they're physically inferior, but their emotions and their cognizance, their situational awareness. They don't even perceive threat because they don't have to. If you're walking down the street and you bump into a guy, do you expect that you might have to, you know, throw some hands? Mm-hmm. No, he's going to say, sorry, I apologize. If I walk down the street and bump into a guy, that can escalate in the wrong way quickly, too. To a life or death situation. So we have a different level of awareness. So anyways, the girl's like, no, I would take a female bodyguard, a female security, a female police. They can do the job just as well. Now, fight breaks out. These girls all come down on each other. I get 3 of them. I'm literally holding 3 of them in 2 arms, and they can't get over there. And the homie's holding 2 of them, which is to say that 2 men are stronger than 5 women.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. And
it's on footage in case people are like, no, you didn't do that. Like, yeah, I'm holding 3 women and he's holding 2 and they can't even move. So the fact is that it's not possible. It's just a sign of a sick society, letting people do things they're unqualified to do. Now, in the case of Secret Service, it's dangerous. If I was president, I'd be like, absolutely not. And in the case of Kamala Harris, she's uniquely bad because she's not even an intelligent one. There are women that are significantly more intelligent than Kamala Harris. Shout out to Barbara Jordan, a black politician who was very well spoken and articulate. People don't give her enough credit. Even you got Maggie Thatcher. They were much better at pretending to be a man, which is what Kamala is doing. She's pretending to be a man. They were better at it. They were still not as good as a man. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, the natural faculties of male versus female are suited for leadership. Even if you look at entrepreneurship, there are far more males running companies. Why? We have higher risk tolerance. In addition to that, you look at the bell curve of IQ. What people should acknowledge women on is, on average, women are more competent and more intelligent on average. But if you look at the extremes, who's extremely not intelligent? Well, those happen to be men, higher rates of autism, things like this. But if you look at who's extremely intelligent, meaning genius IQs, those are overwhelmingly male. So we dominate there, which is to say, if you're going to have a leader of other people, those should be the persons who are most intelligent, which are always males.
Yes.
So that's what we have to deal in reality. Kamala Harris is actually a scary character in as much as she exhibits some of the worst female inclinations. She'll say something and then cackle laughing afterward, which is a chiefly female thing. And we can't get mad at that. I like a woman who's lighthearted, but I don't like a leader who appears to be a goofy broad. Right. So it's different. Like when you're like, we're out and I'm a guy, and we tell bad jokes that ain't even funny. Nice young lady. She'll laugh at your bad joke, right? But when it's the president of the United States and she's laughing at Russia, it's like, that's not even funny, shorty.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And then I have so many thoughts on that too, because she'll just say whatever the public wants to hear, and that's even scarier. I rather you just you're standing on morals and principles and truth, and it sounds bad coming out, than you just saying whatever people want to hear. And still sounds bad that way though. So I wanted to tell you something real quick too, because I was thinking about so much, but I had come to this. I want to just tell you this story real fast. I had come to this realization that men and women were different, and it was a funny way I did, right? Because I was raised by a single mother, and I was raised around feminists, and I was raised to have a very different mind frame. So you can only imagine we talk about, it was God that definitely helped me for sure. Because the Lord is good, because I would have gone down a scary path. But dogs, they most of the time, unless they've gone through trauma, they just come up to you and want to be petted. So I always kind of think of like men, again, like, well, not all, unless they're trained to obviously attack. But I was watching this dog, and the dog doesn't even know me and is so super comfortable with me. But I had gotten some bunnies, and the bunnies automatically are scared, like super scary. And then they made me so mad because they'll thump really hard, as if that's supposed to scare me. Same thing that you said, your little soft hand, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I looked up online, why are they like this? And it's because they know they're weaker. They know that without even understanding, English, they know that they are the prey. And so they're scary. They're very scared. And so what they have to do is try to act tough and be very snappy and bossy and rude to try to seem so. And then you have to gain their trust. So you have to actively show and pursue that, hey, I'm not going to hurt you over time. And then once they're committed, they're committed. Just to go based off of what you said, that as a man, I pursue you. And then after that, you're always pursuing me. And I just thought about that dynamic with my bunnies of like, this reminds me of women. Like bunnies, just like we pretend we're so tough, but like the reason why I feel like we're getting so aggressive and we're trying to prove men, like we're trying to go into male dominated roles and try to prove a point consistently. And remind me of my bunnies. They were trying to always prove a point of like, no, just accept that you need me. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that with you. So just to